Perform or be kicked out. Federal government warns non-performing project contractors.
The challenges we face are not insurmountable.
Issues of regional integration top agenda as ECOWAS Parliament begins first ordinary session. Plus, establishment of state police in the news again as National Assembly continues alteration of 1999 Constitution.
The establishment of state police may empower local authorities to address these challenges.
Hello, it's always a pleasure to have you join the network news on NTA. I'm Naja'atu Tijani. Benny Adams is standing by in our Abuja studios with business news. This broadcast is also being streamed live on our website, nta.ng/live, and our YouTube channel, NTA News. Follow us across social media for regular updates as well. And now the news in detail. The Federal Ministry of Works says it has terminated contract numbers 6136, 6137 and 6138 with Mothercat Limited, then Tata and Sao Construction Limited and RCC Limited. A statement by the Special Advisor on Media to the Minister of Works, Orji Uchenna Orji, indicates that the projects affected include dualization of Abuja-Benin Road sections 2, 3 and 4. The ministry says the termination of the said contracts is in view of inordinate delay of the affected companies in job performance and their failure, neglect and or refusal to fulfill their contractual obligations, resulting in the expiration of the contracts and exposing road users to untold hardship since 2012 when they were awarded. The statement indicates the Minister of Works has directed the engineers in charge to take necessary steps to enter upon both the site and the works and take over from the affected companies after conducting an assessment of the work done so far. And as part of continuous efforts by the FCT administration to improve infrastructure and transform the FCT into a befitting nation's capital, the Speaker, House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas, has flagged off the bus terminal of Sector Center A, B15 under Mabushi District, saying it will provide job opportunities for FCT residents as well as Nigerians. Aisha Uba Ali has details.
Conclusion of road project, the FCT minister has commenced the second leg of inauguration exercise in the FCT. The bus terminal, among others, will consist of green areas, pedestrian walkways, ticketing booths, and retail shops, among others. Wike says the administration is working to ensure that the Abuja master plan is restored and maintained, as this opportunity FCT is getting is in line with Renewed Hope initiative.
Now, one of the things we do understand about the Renewed Hope agenda is not just about human capital development. It also has to do with empowerment of our people. Under the Renewed Hope agenda, Mr. President, you say you must encourage our local people who have the capacity to also deliver.
While the Speaker, House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas acknowledged the good works the FCT administration has been doing and assuring of the support of the legislature.
The construction of the Mabushi bus terminal is a critical step towards enhancing transportation infrastructure in the FCT and ensuring that residents can commute safely and efficiently.
The Mabushi bus terminal, according to the minister, is going to be a world-class terminal, as the Kubo bus terminal along Kefi Abuja Road is next to be flagged off. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
Meanwhile, key players in Nigeria's security sector are calling on the National Assembly to prioritize establishment of state police in the ongoing 1999 Constitution alteration process. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports. That was the consensus at a discourse organized by the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies on decentralizing Nigeria's security system.
Over the years, Nigeria has been operating a centralized police structure despite the dynamics of each state with unique socio-cultural and security challenges. Experts say the country in need of a more tailored and responsive approach to law enforcement matters. This dialogue, they believe, is not only timely but crucial for the future of the nation's police system.
It has been argued that the establishment of state police may empower local authorities to address these challenges more effectively, ensuring quicker response and better understanding of local security dynamics.
Ceding power to federal authorities only could cause a wrong assumption that the federating units do not have the power to maintain their own issues of discipline within their respective domain.
When we're talking about policing, where you are depending on police to police your society, it means your society has failed. And I'm very serious about this. I'm first trained as a sociologist. I think Nigeria has failed in using the social socialization and policing system.
At the end of the dialogue, recommendations will be brought forward to address myriad of security and economic challenges facing the nation. In Abuja, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
The Northern and Southern Senators Forums have condemned last Saturday's suicide bombing in Gwoza, Borno State. In separate statements, the chairman of the Northern Senators Forum, Abdulaziz Eradua, and that of the Southern Senators Forum, Mukail Adetokunbo Abiru, expressed shock and sorrow over the attack, praying for the victims and commiserating with families of the affected. They urged the federal government and security agencies to intensify efforts at combating terrorism. The forums commend President Tinubu for swiftly condemning the attack and his reassurance to secure the lives and property of citizens. The State House has recognized and rewarded 38 staff from various departments for their hard work and dedication to duty. Clerical Officer Innocent Ekobi won the Vice President's Award of 1 million naira for productivity. Meanwhile, Permanent Secretary State House Olufunsho Adebiyi says among the 8 newly appointed permanent secretaries in the Federal Civil Service by President Bola Tinubu, 3 are from the State House Clinic. He notes that this is a testament to the high level of commitment and dedication of State House staff. The newly appointed permanent secretaries from the State House are Dr. Obi Emeka Vitalis, Dr. Mariam Ismaila, and Dr. Emanso Umobong Okop. Deputy Chief of Staff, Senator Ibrahim Hadija, congratulates the award recipients and expresses State House management's appreciation for the invaluable contribution of every staff member, explaining that the financial reward from the Office of the Vice President is meant to further encourage staff to add value to their job schedules. The first ordinary session of the 6th legislature of the ECOWAS Parliament is underway in Abuja. At the formal opening session, issues of regional integration and disastrous consequences of withdrawal of 3 member states took center stage in the face of regional challenges. ECOWAS Parliament correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
First ordinary session of the Community Parliament is dedicated to the unity of member states addressing the regional problems of terrorism, trafficking and climate change.
We must all bear in mind that our people's rights to self-determination requires that we respect their choice, which is the expression of their deepest aspirations.
It is our considered view that we need to use the opportunity to take stock of our progress and challenges over the past 50 years and draw the lessons for the future.
The challenges we face are not insurmountable. With unity, innovation, and unwavering belief in our shared destiny, we can transform our collective aspirations into enduring achievements.
The impact of climate change and bad governance have remained serious impediments to the peace, security, and economic development of our sub-region.
I can assure you that the court remains available to provide whatever support that is necessary in furtherance of this and other initiatives that will preoccupy the members during the 6th legislature.
Other issues during the session were the consideration and adoption of the draft agenda and draft work program of standing, joint and ad hoc committee, as well as draft report of the extraordinary session held in Kano. Also, at the opening of the session to last for 3 weeks, Nigeria's Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu was sworn in as member of the 6th Parliament. In Abuja, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
On the judicial front, the Federal High Court Abuja Division has dismissed the fundamental human rights suit filed by detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, against the federal government. The presiding judge, Justice James Omotosho, gave the order this Monday in Abuja. Nnamdi Kanu sued the Attorney General of the Federation and the Department of State Services for 1 billion naira in damages for alleged rights violations. In the suit, the IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu claimed that the DSS and its Director General violated his right to a fair hearing by allegedly preventing his counsel from having unhindered interactions with him while he was being detained in preparation for his defense in his criminal trial. Justice Omotosho held that Kanu failed to provide credible evidence to sustain his claims that his interactions with his counsel were interfered with, that he was denied unhindered access to his lawyers, and that DSS officials eavesdropped on his conversations with his lawyers, which constituted a breach of his right to a fair hearing. The judiciary, as the third arm of government and an arbiter between other arms, is expected to exhibit financial transparency. To achieve this, the 2024 Hybrid National Workshop on Management of Judicial Financial Resources is underway in Abuja. The convergence of the judicial financial managers from across the country is to evolve promotion of efficiency, uniformity and improvement in quality of judicial services in the superior and lower courts. The 3-day training with the theme Strengthening Financial Transparency and Accountability in the Judiciary is meant to keep participants abreast of global best practices. Participants in the next 3 days will cross-fertilize ideas on budgeting, fraud prevention, and the deployment of technology in financial management. The Administrator, National Judicial Institute Justice Salisu Garba Abdullahi, urges participants to be committed towards the attainment of efficient delivery of services to litigants. Imo State has pulled out of the national electricity market by creating its Electricity Regulatory Commission. In an order released by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, Imo State government has complied with the provisions of the 2023 Electricity Act and the 1999 Constitution as amended to establish and regulate an intrastate electricity market. NERC says it has transferred regulatory oversight in the state to the newly created Imo State Electricity Regulatory Commission and has directed Enugu Electricity Distribution Company to incorporate a subsidiary to assume responsibilities for intrastate supply and distribution of electricity in Imo. This brings to four states which have pulled out. States which have pulled out of national electricity market. An unmanned aerial vehicle or drone belonging to the Nigerian Air Force has crashed during routine operations in Kaduna, contrary to reports in some media that it was a helicopter. A reliable source at the NAF base Kaduna confirmed this to NTA's defense correspondent, verifying the location to be 15 kilometers from the NAF base Kaduna. The Nigerian Air Force also confirmed this in a statement, citing the location to be Rumji village and not Tami as reported in other media. The NAF also called on the media not to be quick to rush to break news before getting the facts straight. NTA investigated by contacting sources on ground in the location, including making efforts to contact relevant Kaduna State government authorities and the local government chairman of Igabi local government area where the incident occurred. President Bola Tinubu extends warm congratulations to the National Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Senator Sirajuddin Ajibola Basiru on his birthday. Senator Sirajuddin Abiola Basiru is a renowned legal expert and author. In 2019, he was elected to represent Osun Central Senatorial District on the platform of the All Progressives Congress. At the Senate, he served as the chairman of the Committee on Diaspora, Non-Governmental Organizations and Civil Societies, but was later appointed as the Senate spokesperson and chairman of the Committee on Media and Public Affairs. The president prays for many more years in good health for the APC National Secretary and his family. This is the network news on NTA. It's nice to know you're still watching the network news on NTA, and we're talking heart-related matters. Power Oil, the Nigerian Heart Foundation approved cooking oil in synergy with the Kanu Heart Foundation, is providing treatment for more Nigerians with heart-related conditions. Lynn Leneke reports.
Together we can save a heart is the slogan for the campaign that is expected to bring relief to Nigerians. The partnership by the Kanu Heart Foundation and Power Oil is also aimed at preventing heart diseases while promoting a healthy lifestyle, especially the nutritional health of Nigerians. According to promoters of the campaign, every bottle of Power Oil purchased will contribute not only to saving lives, but developing the nation's economy.
For as many people who go to the Kanu Heart Foundation, just like they know that there's a brand which is Power Oil supporting that initiative, and we expect that, they have been doing this in the past, we just expect that this will help in reaching out to more people.
And we have almost like 200 on the waiting list, and all these are very expensive, knowing that we are taking them out of Nigeria, and the more we can raise funds, the more most of them are dying. So if Power Oil, like what we are seeing today, is a great one for us.
With this new partnership, the foundation says it will establish a hospital in the country to help indigent Nigerians with cardiac diseases to obtain life-saving surgeries.
If we build that hospital from the age of 1 to 12 free,
how can we prevent it? Basic lifestyle and dietary changes.
Power Oil, a product of Duffield Primer Foods, is the #1 cooking oil in Nigerian households that promotes healthy living, while the Kanu Heart Foundation, a non-governmental organization established in year 2000 by world-renowned footballer Kanu Nwankwo, has continued to support the heart health of Nigerians by improving heart disease prevention and care. In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, NTA News.
Moving on from heart health, the Nigeria Customs Service on airport has handed over 3 suspects and 9 containers of illegally imported arms, ammunition and illicit drugs as exhibits to the National Center for the Control of Light Arms and Weapons and the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Comptroller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, Wale Adeni, briefed newsmen in Port Harcourt. Kingsley Amajiri was there for NTA News.
This feat by operatives of Nigeria Customs Service is a product of effective synergy between the Nigeria Customs Service, local partners, and international collaborators. The arms-laden container, which originated from Turkey, became a subject of interest to Nigeria Customs Service after credible intelligence indicated unlawful content with false declaration as furniture.
We had followed its sale across continents. The suspicious container was subjected to thorough physical examination. We had inside the container 844 units of assorted rifles, Number 2, 112,500 pieces of live ammunition. I also want to assure members of the public that a thorough investigation will be carried out to unravel the country of origin, the motive of the people who illegally acquired these weapons, their possible sponsors, and their end users.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu directed the National Security Advisor to commend the Nigerian Customs Service for effectively discharging its mandate in the overall interest of our country's national security.
And hope that the synergy between the two agencies will continue to grow stronger and stronger.
In another operation, the command also intercepted 8 by 40-foot containers on transit to a warehouse from One Port, laden with illicit drugs.
And key concern to critical stakeholders is what would have been the implication if these arms and ammunition were let loose into the Nigerian society. I'm Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
From One in River State, we head to Jigawa State, where the government has given clarification on the recent farmer-herdsmen clash in Baranda and Bagadaza forests of Dutse and Gwaram local government areas of the state. Muhammad Musa Askira reports that the state government, through the Farmers and Herdsmen Board, says the situation has been brought under control and there is no loss of life.
Unverifiable social media reports making the round over the weekend indicate that the recent clash between farmers and herdsmen in Jigawa State has resulted to loss of lives and left many others injured. To set the record straight, the Jigawa State government, through the Farmers Herdsmen Board, in a press briefing says, although there was a clash and a few casualties were recorded as a result of a Fulani boy trespassing farmlands, there was no loss of life. The incidents happened at Baranda and Bagadaza villages in Dutse and Gwaram local government areas, and authorities have taken the necessary measures to tame the situation from escalating.
A committee was formed between the farmers, the local farmers within the area, and the herders that are living in the same area, so that a committee to sensitize the farmers to live together.
Recently, Governor Umar Namadi has issued a warning against farmers and herdsmen not to trespass into cattle roads and farmlands respectively, as well as illegal allocation of land to avoid these preventable clashes that may lead to loss of lives and property.
All lands allocated illegally stand revoked. So we are on that. And but when we set up a committee to go and ensure that all those lands are revoked and are demarcated for grazing reserved and cattle routes, that revoking is still standing.
As it stands now, normalcy has returned to the two areas, with both farmers and herdsmen going about their daily activities. In Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Still on food security, emergence of agricultural entrepreneurs and development of socio-economic activities in rural communities are in focus at the 4th Joint Supervision of Agricultural Projects in Ondo State. Abiola Ario reports that the project is conducted by the Federal Government, International Fund for Agricultural Development, and the Niger Delta Development Commission.
Here is 40-year-old Flora Oluwaniyi, a peasant farmer who leveraged the initiative of the federal government in 2021 and has successfully expanded her fishery, poultry and other ventures in Ondo East local government area of Ondo State. Flora is among the 3,000 youths and women who have been trained and empowered in fish farming, poultry, cassava and vegetable farming out of the 4,250 earmarked for the joint projects of the federal government, International Fund for Agricultural Development (IFAD) and the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) in Ondo State.
Improve my life, boost my business, and through that, I still be a benefit to my neighborhood.
Mountain farming have really changed us a lot. They are giving me the knowledge. They are giving the perspective that no matter your situation, you can move forward.
The visit of the drivers of the initiative to about 4 local government areas in the state provided opportunities to interface with the trainees.
We are quite hopeful that these are potential
super agro-entrepreneurs.
The implementation process is okay. Of course, no matter how fantastic it is, there are rooms for improvement.
They have been fortified and they are very strong. Not even that, a cooperative society that we have even linked to financial is so they can access loan.
The 12-year agricultural project is structured in 2 phases of 6 years each, with the first phase currently in its 5th year. In Akure, Abiola Rio, NTA News.
Heavy floods and mudslides in Apo Legislative Quarters Zone E have affected houses and damaged infrastructural facilities around the neighborhood. The mudslide came from an excavation project by an estate developer. Onotu Yakubu brings us the situation report from the location.
This is the genesis of the challenge. The excavation work began earlier in the year by the developer to take topography of allocated land by FCDA to enable them commence development. However, when the rains commenced, this became the reality of residents living in houses at the foot of the mountain.
The water is flowing as if we are in a river, right in the house. Is it common? What about these locals that you call? They are not doing anything.
There is a drainage system at this very spot where we stand, but the activities of the mudslide from the mountain top down into the premises, and with this over 5 feet heap of sand that has built up here over the course of the rains, has taken over the entirety and stretch of the drainage that is supposed to receive storm water and flow out from the premises.
In fact, more than 10 times. As you can see, any even small rain, we have to hire people to be cleaning it.
Right now, as I'm talking to you, 2 tippers are there, workers are there, parking, clearing the road for the residents. And we have pleaded with them to just approach the court. Let's do this. They say no.
For now, relying on a gentleman agreement, a work on a drainage system has commenced to prevent further damages going forward. Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
Abuja Municipal Area Council has commenced the demolition of illegal structures in Cairo Market to create access for emergency response into all sections of the market following last week's fire incident. Serafina Okon reports.
The sound of sledgehammers bringing down illegal structures, which obstructed movement of trucks and water tanks. The demolition exercise, the market management say, will continue until all access roads are reopened for easier movement. Traders were not also left out in the reconstruction work, as some took their time to rebuild makeshift shops selling under umbrellas, while others were seen cleaning up their damaged shops.
The fate of this trader, you can see demolition that is going on to create access roads, because it's lack of road that make this fire the way it's happened like this.
Well, we the traders who are just appealing to the government to see the problem that we are facing at this critical condition of the country.
Well, we the traders, we are in dire need of help. Some people, this is just their life savings that just went off.
My full store parking is up to 10 million. My parking store, what is there, is roughly 8 million. I lose everything. If I can get back, I will do it insurance. So it's better for me than to lose like this.
The market management say they are yet to ascertain the cause of the fire outbreak. Commercial activity started today in Cairo Market, though it's a bit scanty, as the traders are trying to pick up the pieces left. Again, the people are appealing that AMAC should give them allocation of plots of land and building approvals so they can begin construction of their shops. From Cairo Market, Serafina Okon Omekwe, NTA News.
And there'll be more reports right after this break.
Government.
You're just in time for business news with Benny Adams. Benny, I hear Morocco and Germany are cashing in on green energy sources right here in Africa.
Oh, sure.
and Nigeria is also not left out. You're welcome to business. Now, with the global renewable energy market size estimated at $2.06 trillion in 2023, Morocco and Germany are cashing in on the opportunities. This is as they sign a declaration aiming to establish a joint climate and energy alliance with the aim of strengthening bilateral cooperation in the field of climate protection and energy transition. The declaration, signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, African Cooperation and Moroccans Abroad, Nasser Bourita, and the German Federal Minister for Economic Cooperation and Development, Venza Skovd, and the Parliamentary Secretary of State to the Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Climate Protection, Stefan Wenzel, also aims to establish increased cooperation.
And transporting it to Germany, to Europe, and doing that in a fair way so that jobs and income is created on the Moroccanian side, and we benefit on the German side so that we can buy hydrogen that is needed here in Germany.
And back home in Nigeria, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has emerged as one of the top scorers in the federal government's regulatory reform action plan, which is targeted at promoting ease of doing business. The plan, which is championed by the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PEBEC, is targeted at equipping regulatory agencies that facilitate business environment and aid their efficiency. The Vice President Kashim Shettima noted that the long-term success of PEBEC hinges on Nigeria's ability to institutionalize reform capabilities, foster deep collaboration across government, and maintain a commitment to continuous improvement for businesses. The special advisor to the President on ease of doing business, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, said these reforms directly impact productivity and competitiveness of Nigeria's economy. For Emomotimi Agama, it is a big feat for the SEC to come tops out of 36 MDS assessed. And a quick look at the markets. Investors lost 20.74 billion naira as the all-share index declined by 0.04% to close at 1,020.83 basis points. A total of 274.6 million shares in 10,112 deals, corresponding to a market value of 3.712 billion naira, were traded. Today's data shows 46% decline in volume, 62% decline in turnover, but a 27% decline in deals, and also improvement in some of those deals. The current market capitalization is 56.6 trillion naira. On the aggregate, 123 listed equities participated in trading, ending with 20 gainers and 30 losers. United Capital recorded the highest volume of 26.6 million traded shares, followed by Linkage Assurance 23.9 million and ICO Insurance 14.2 million. That is business news.
Now for educational matters. The Effective School Program, recently introduced by the Universal Basic Education Commission, is aimed at enhancing efficiency of UBE delivery at national and state levels, with prescribed minimum standards attainable in all educational programs. Now, the Commission has announced official commencement of the implementation with the engagement of 111 schools designated as UBEC e-learning centers across 36 states and the FCT.
To give emphasis on all those aspects that an effective school is expected to have. And among others, teachers are key. The effective school should have the required teachers in the subjects that are taught in the schools. So on that note, the teachers are invited, the head teachers in particular are invited to come and interact with the commission, with their own directors in the suburbs, to take home what really do we want them to do at the school level in order to promote effective teaching and learning in those selected schools.
And distribution of instructional materials with installation of satellite-based learning equipment have been put in place to aid commencement of the ESP initiative. Meanwhile, 2 newly built tertiary education trust fund projects have been handed over to the faculties of Agriculture and Veterinary Medicine at the University of Jos. Caleb Gochin reports that the institution's Vice-Chancellor, Professor Tanko Ishaya, says the management of the institution will maintain the buildings to ensure academic excellence.
The projects are Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Medicine, completed by TED Fund to enhance teaching and learning in the institution. This is in line with the mandate to disburse, manage and monitor education tax in government-owned tertiary institutions. Professor Ishaya Tanko, on a tour of the facilities, says the completion marks a significant milestone in the university's history, as the buildings are testament to their commitment to excellence in education and research.
Also handed over to you, and we continue to pray for you and your men to continue to be more committed and dedicated to the role that they have decided to take over.
For management of the 2 faculties, the intervention will spur staff and students to explore new ideas. In Jos, Caleb Gochin, NTA News.
Now let's head to South Africa, where President Cyril Ramaphosa has unveiled a new coalition government after the ruling African National Congress ANC party lost its parliamentary majority in May's elections. Francis Udojo has details on Global Update.
Following the outcome of the election, the ANC will have 20 out of 32 cabinet members, while the Democratic Alliance, DA, will hold 6, and 6 other portfolios will be shared among smaller parties. In May's elections, the ANC got 40% of the vote, while the DA secured 22%.
The incoming government will prioritize rapid, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth and the creation of a more just society by tackling poverty and inequality, as well as unemployment.
In another development, Marine Le Pen's far-right National Rally (RN) party has scored historic gains to win the first round of France's parliamentary election. RN won 33.1% of the vote, with a left-wing alliance getting 28% and the Macron camp 20.76%. Although the final outcome will depend on days of alliance building before next Sunday's runoff vote. Meanwhile, in a 6-3 decision, the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that former President Donald Trump has absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for official acts, but not unofficial ones. The case raised the question of just how broad presidential immunity could stretch, as Trump faces unprecedented criminal charges in 2 federal cases and 1 in Georgia, while awaiting sentencing for financial crimes in New York. Francis Udojo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, France beat Belgium to reach the quarter-finals. Plus, other stories in the world of sports with Austin Edemodu.
The Nigerian Weightlifting Federation, in collaboration with the Nigerian Olympic Committee, are engaging weightlifting coaches from the 36 states and the FCT in refresher weightlifting techniques and dynamics by foreign experts as part of ongoing preparation for Nigeria's weightlifters who represent the country in Paris.
So the seminar that is taking place here is so important to the Federation, is so important to the country, and I charge all the participants that let them listen, let them learn the knowledge from the instructor that came all the way from America.
We've been in camp for the past 2-3 months, you understand, so the athletes are ready. We've seen the clips of what they can do, and hopefully they will make the country proud.
Nigeria has 2 weightlifters representation in this year's Paris Olympics. Meanwhile, ahead of the Paris 2024 Olympics, stakeholders are optimistic that if given the necessary support, Nigerian contingents will surpass their previous records. This follows a solidarity march and exhibition by athletes in commemoration of this year's Olympics Day run in Asaba Delta State. The state governor, Sheriff Oboriwori, was represented at the event by the Chief of Staff, Johnson Erijo.
They should be up and doing and be fair and ready to be very competitive as we proceed to the France Olympics.
So
Ghana just 2 months ago for the All Africa Games. Last 3 weeks, we are actually in Benin, so they are highly prepared for the Olympics.
Elsewhere, France defeated Belgium by an own goal to reach the quarterfinals of the ongoing Euro Championship in Germany. France will play the winners of the round of 16 match between Slovenia and Portugal. With Sports Update, I'm Austin Edemodu, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu commiserates with former governor of Borno State, Senator Ali Modu Sharif, over the passing of his mother, Hajja Aisa. President Tinubu also condoles with the Modu Sharif family, urging them to take comfort in the knowledge that the deceased lived an exemplary life defined by strong virtues before she transitioned at the hallowed age of 93. The president prays Allah grant the departed Al-Jannah Firdaus and comfort her family. Vice President Kashim Shettima has led a federal government delegation to attend the funeral of late Hajja Aisa Modu Sharif, mother of former Governor Borno State, Senator Ali Modu Sharif, and to sympathize with victims of the Gwoza bomb blast. Muhammad Goni reports.
Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, played host to high caliber of personalities for the funeral prayer of Hajja Aisa Modu Sharif, which was led by the Imam Ideni of Borno, Shettima Momon Saleh, after which her remains were conveyed to Gongi graveyard for interment according to Islamic rites. The sympathizers prayed Allah to grant the deceased soul eternal rest and the family she had left behind the fortitude to bear the loss. Hajja Aisa died in Abuja at the age of 93 and is survived by children, among them Senator Ali Modu Sharif and Modu Mala Sharif, among others. While in Maiduguri, the Vice President also visited the victims of Gwoza bomb blast receiving treatment at the Maiduguri Specialist Hospital, where he sympathized with them over the unfortunate incident.
The House of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is with the victims, and he specifically instructed us to come and offer our condolences and commiserations to the victims of this incident. We are here with the Director General of NEMA, with the Minister of Agriculture, with the Minister of Transportation, and of course, the Chief Whip of the Senate is a son of the soil from Gwoza, so he was here since yesterday.
In a related development, Borno State Acting Governor Umar Usman Kadafur has visited Gwoza town to sympathize with the community over the bomb blast, which claimed many lives and injured over 40. In Maiduguri, Muhammad Goni, NTA News.
Former President Muhammadu Buhari has also paid tribute to Hajja Aisa, mother of Senator Ali Modu Sharif, former governor of Borno State, highlighting her deep influence in shaping the character and the success of her children, saying she led a glorious life. Muhammadu Buhari also extends his condolences to the governor, Professor Babagana Zulum, the Shehu of Borno, Alhaji Abubakar Ibn Umar Garbai Al-Amin El-Kanemi, and the entire people of the state on the loss of this prominent citizen. The loss of a mother always leaves profound impact on the family, one which can only be softened by memories of good deeds as the pillar of the home. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu stated this while condoling with the Minister of State for Police Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, over the loss of her mother, Aisha Suleiman Naladi. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports that her condolence message was conveyed by a delegation
Since her mother passed on Thursday, June 27, the residence of Minister of State for Police Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, has been receiving hordes of sympathizers. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, represented by a delegation led by wife of the Speaker, House of Representatives, Fatima Tajuddin Abbas, is also at the residence to condole with the family. She says the deceased played her part very well by bequeathing the nation with good children.
She said I should condole them on her behalf and tell them that the mom that died, soul should rest in peace. May God give her Jannatul Firdaus. May God forgive her.
Appreciating the First Lady for standing with the family at their moment of grief, one of the in-laws to the deceased, Senator Sani Musa, notes that the family has drawn a lot of comfort from her visit.
We have been receiving both fatherly and motherly care from them. They have been very supportive of this family.
To thank God Almighty for giving her the good life, for giving her good children that can take care of her when she is no more there.
Hajia Aisha Sulaiman Danladi passed on in her sleep at the age of 66 in Abuja. Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
On that note, we conclude the network news on NTA. Thanks for watching. On behalf of the crew, have a wonderful night.